final third bucket, which I'll elaborate on a specific example, is to use the cells, optimize the source. iPSC comes to mind, but there will be other sources of universal cells to be used, off the shelf, biologically improved, so that you really deliver a biologic 3D versus the biologic 2D that was the monoclonals. Again, bringing this close and close to that traditional model will make it easy to understand, easy to deploy, easy to launch, to pay for, and eventually success in treating patients. And so this is the concept of optimized cell therapy. So I welcome you to go and see an editorial where I go through this perspective, these three perspectives, and come very much on one thing that it must be in our mind from the beginning, immediately, which is the target product profile. What is your product? How are you going to develop? How are you going to make a commercial success? Because that's how we're going to be able to treat patients in the end. I'll give you a quick example of what I'm actually doing. A technology that a company I founded, licensed from CMAT, I see Power there, actually from that organization, where we build on the legacy and the phoenix of the MSCs. MSCs have been the first entry. Everybody felt that they were going to do wonders. Same mistake again. But they need to be professionalized. And even though they are delivering, they're now on the market, they are delivering value to benefit to patients at a significant monetized value, but really telling us that T cells have an opportunity. But what we want is to make them a superior opportunity. And the product is actually commercialized under hospital exemption, another interesting topic for us to discuss. In Germany, unmodified MSCs, and it's called Obnitics. And I said, I can't miss the opportunity to then do an asterisk, do a goal, do the point that what we're doing with our lenti is getting a traditional French into a super French, if that can be the case. But anyway, the message is there in terms of professionalizing the cells for an optimal benefit. And so we will see the generations of the MSCs, which is the traditional MSCs, the MSCs that get either an improved manufacturing, iPSC sourcing, or an improved biology, or really what we're doing, which is sourcing MSCs from our iPSC, optimizing the manufacturing in all the aspects that you know the iPSC can deliver, and optimizing the biology by gene engineering, really making this another biologic, and making it very, very compatible with pick, thaw, infuse, and send home. Now, for a bit of fun. Europe is committed to biotech. Europe is waking up to the fact that we have to get our act together and become more competitive. We have fantastic research going on. We are failing on the translation, the clinical trials, the clinical evidence, and really all the later steps of the biotech challenge. But talking to the Commission and other authorities, there is a commitment in terms of making that change, and we will see, you'll see in a minute some of the actions that are going to happen in Europe. We've seen also the evolution with the FDA. There's ups and downs on that evolution. I've just mentioned to you before the plausible path mechanism, which is really an important development. So I think we need to seize the opportunities and manage the challenges like in everything else, and FDA is no different from that. In Europe, there's a series of points that we, ICT, ARM and other organizations are making a focus so that we can improve the environment in Europe in terms of regulatory simplification, in terms of creating of hubs where things can be done faster. We do things better if we do them together. Also, the integration of AI and some modulation of the funding. And I mentioned to you before, the focus where fast, not very large, but easily deployed, early translational funding can help generate the evidence that will make your value proposition more attractive to additional private funding. What we're doing has huge impact. That you can see several examples. Emily has been one. I've been with her several times, and obviously it's probably sometimes people may say it's overused, but it is actually real. It's actually important. It's something that we need to wake up every day and say, this is what we want to do, but we need to do it properly. We need to do it adequately. So we need to do it in a sustainable way. I've talked about KJ. I think that's particularly relevant. It's a transformational point in terms of gene therapy, I believe. So there is a sense of urgency, and we need to run faster and faster and faster. But that doesn't mean that we need to stumble or do it wrongly. And I would like to say, focus on the product and the business model. Understand what is your product and develop it in a way that if you make it business model successful, you will be able to treat patients. So I want to treat patients, but the opportunity to do so needs to be anchored on an adequate business model. Translation must start with the end game in mind. That's crucial from point one. You will make decisions. You will probably be able to do whatever the money affords you to do. But if you do B because you cannot do A, you know that you will have to come back to A. And you don't forget about the A just because you're doing B that you can afford now. This is important. This is how startups go from idea to successful commercial products. I mean, in between the two, pharma will come and take it and commercialize it. Patient access depends on the business model, clinical convenience, and adequate product launch. Always think that, put yourself, as I did before, in a clinical perspective. If this is difficult, I'll do something else. That's what we all do, right? So make sure that it is as easy as possible. And success relies on action, and resilience and modulation of risk aversion is my final word and sentence. Just make sure that we balance that perspective. And thank you.